everyone, welcome back. So I know it's been a little while since my last video, and the reason behind that is because I was really waiting for my clinic to call me in order for me to do my 6-month video, because I really wanted to share with you the things that was said, my meeting with the nutritionist and the nurse, and to see if I was really missing any kind of substance in my diet, which was the reason behind my losing my hair. But I never actually got the call from the clinic. I'm going to have to call them and say, did you forget about me? Because they never called me. So that's the reason why there was no video for the past little while, because I was really waiting and looking forward to them calling me so that I could share that experience with you. So this video is going to be about my 6-month update, and as soon as I get that meeting with the clinic, then that's the first thing that I'm going to do, is make another video to tell you guys how it went. But for the moment, that's going to have to wait. So as I start all of my other update monthly videos, I always start by saying I can't believe it's been 6 months. Except for I can't believe it's been enter the actual month. Anyways, and it's true. I mean, 6 months has gone by really fast. For my weight, I'm down 97 pounds, which I can really see in my 6th month that my weight loss has slowed down significantly. I'm entering into the period where I'm going to have to make a little bit more effort activity-wise, which I've already started. But even though my weight has slowed down in actual numbers, size-wise, I can feel the difference. I can feel I'm still losing width, and I'm still losing like extra fat that I had here and there. On my back, I used to have a lot more fat, and right now it's I would say it's almost pretty much flat. There's not really anything that's hanging over anything else. And I've noticed that all of my bras on the circumference, the size around, they're all too big. So I'm still losing size, even though the weight seems to have slowed down a little bit. It hasn't stopped. I'm still losing weight, so that's still great. Food wise, again, having no problems really. There was well, as it happened in one of my other previous videos, while I was filming after eating, all of a sudden I got really nauseous. Well, the same thing happened to me again last Friday. So I had gone out for supper with some people in my family for my birthday, and everything was fine. I ended up ordering, we went to kind of like a bistro place, not really a bistro, like surf and turf kind of place, and I ended up getting chicken brochette and some shrimp and a salad and rice. And I knew that all of that I was going to take, I was going to eat my little portion that I could eat and bring home the rest, either to have a meal with my boyfriend or just to separate it into other meals, because usually when I go to the restaurant with what I bring home, I can usually eat 2 more meals. So I ended up eating just the chicken, and it was just chicken cubes that were put onto a brochette stick with, there was peppers and onions, and I think it was just different kinds of peppers. But I ended up eating just the pieces of chicken, and I really took my time to eat it, and it went down really well. Didn't have any problems. The other people that were there, they were eating and they were taking their time, and I had taken my time as well, so there was no rush in eating whatsoever. But as I was waiting for the other people to finish, because I mean, even though we all ate slowly, the quantity that I had to eat was a lot less than everyone else, so I ended up waiting for them, which I don't mind. And I was just sitting there waiting, and I could feel like almost like my saliva was starting to get thick in the back of my throat, and I was like, oh, it'd be really great to have like a cup of tea or something. But the waitress never actually passed by to be like, can I get you anything else? Because I would have been like, tea. And I think that's what the problem was. I really needed to drink something hot to try, and maybe the chicken was a little bit greasy, and it kind of just stagnated in my throat, my chest, and my stomach. And so I felt it start to get thick, and when everyone was done, thankfully it happened when everyone was done, we were getting ready to leave and putting on our coats. We had already paid, and we were about to walk out, and I was like, ooh, I don't feel so good. And it was really like, it hit me like all of a sudden, like just complete nausea. My mouth filled up with liquid, with saliva. All I could think about was, do not barf in the middle of the restaurant, do not barf in the middle of the restaurant. So I like grabbed my leftovers, and I was like, okay, time to go. And I like ran out of the restaurant, but it kept hitting me harder and harder, like waves of like nausea. And walking out of the restaurant, I was like, oh God, don't barf in front of the restaurant if there's not something that you want to do. Like, the food, it's a great restaurant, and the food was really good. And you imagine seeing someone walking out of the restaurant and throwing up on the ground. It's kind of like, well, I'm not going there, because... So I really didn't want to throw up, so I like speed walked all the way to my car, and I was like, if I'm gonna be sick, I'll be sick next to my car. It's in a parking lot, nobody's gonna see me. Why didn't I just go to the bathroom? Because I didn't want to be sick, and I knew if I would have went to the bathroom, I probably would have been sick, and I had this phobia of throwing up, so I really don't want to be sick. As soon as I got to my car, I don't know if it was the walking or the air or a combination of the two, but the nausea seemed to kind of go away, and I felt like the lump in my stomach kind of ease a little bit, but it came really close to being sick, and it was just really an unpleasant feeling. So I haven't actually been sick since I had the operation, but it's hitting me twice now, some pretty severe nausea for no reason. I hadn't eaten fast this time. There was no reason for me to want to be sick, but it just hit me. So besides that, everything is going really well. My portions are, I would say, a little bit bigger than they were in the beginning, which is normal because in the beginning you can pretty much eat about 1/4 of a cup of food per meal, and after a couple of years you should be up to about a good cup of food for a meal. And I would say right now I eat between 1/2 and 3/4 cups of food per sitting, and I try to still have my my snacks in between my meals and before bed, but try not to do it really close to bed because I don't want to have anything that I'm eating just sit in my stomach and get absorbed into fat or whatnot. So I am trying to eat my meals. Another thing that I found kind of funny was before I had the operation, during the week I was usually pretty stable. I wasn't eating fantastic, but I would still be kind of pretty much regular, and on the weekend that's when I would totally like let loose, and I would eat crap, and I would eat when I wanted, the quantity that I wanted, and I didn't really give a shit. If I was hungry I would eat. And now it's kind of the opposite. I eat more during the week now because I feel like with work, as soon as I get to work I eat my breakfast, and then I have a snack later on in the morning, and then at lunchtime I have my lunch. Seeing as how my work schedule is very stable, my meals are very stable with my work, but when I get to the weekends I hardly eat at all, which is something that I really have to work on. But if anything, sometimes in the morning, sometimes I've had just a piece of cheese just to say that I needed to eat something, but I didn't actually know what, or I didn't feel like eating. Or so on the weekend I don't eat hardly anything. I don't have my snacks. Maybe I'll eat 1 or 2 meals in my entire day. So that's something I really need to work on, because I really need to stay stable and not put my body into a position where it's thinking that I'm starving myself on the weekend so that it'll accumulate more during the week. And it really needs to be more stable in what I'm actually, the times that I'm eating and the quantities that I'm eating on the weekend, because that's when I really, it's not conscious. I'm not consciously saying, okay, this is what I'm going to stop eating on the weekend because it'll help me lose weight faster. It's just unconscious thing that I'm realizing with time, that on the weekend I'm being really strict with my meals. So that's something that I need to work on. Besides that, 6 months in, something that I was wondering about was when I was going through the process of maybe getting the operation, or actually scrap that, when I was first operated on, I remember something that I kept thinking to myself was, am I ever going to be normal? Am I ever going to be able to drink something normally? Am I ever going to be able to eat something without worrying about eating the tiniest little thing? 6 months in, I could say I have a bottle of water, which is pretty much by my bed all the time. It's a glass bottle with a styrofoam, not a styrofoam, but a rubber casing so you can hold on to it. And it doesn't have, there's no spout or anything, it's just an open surface. And in the beginning, what was really traumatizing me was I could take a little sip, swallow it, be like, okay, is it gonna go down? Okay, it went down, now I can take another sip. Right now I'm at the point where I can drink in one go, I would say between 3 and 4 swallows. So, but moderate swallows, not huge swallows like when you're chugging water. But I can take 3 or 4 moderate swallows, so I don't really have that fear of each little swallow going down. And I'm not at the point where I can drink to my heart's desire, because I do feel the tightness in my stomach after, I would say, about 3 and 4.5 swallows in a row, that my stomach feels kind of tight. But it is just water, but I still don't want to stretch it. But for anyone who's wondering, if you're on the first stages or just barely been operated on, you're like, oh my god, I'm never going to be able to drink anything ever again in my life. At 6 months, for me, I'm able to have a regular drink. I can have several swallows in one drink. So if that can reassure you, because that's something that I would have been really happy to see in the beginning when I first got operated on, because I was just every day I was like, I'm never going to be normal again. Every single swallow was an ordeal, but now I do it without even thinking. I can take several swallows in one, so if that can reassure you. And the same thing with food. The thing is, you don't want to have big swallows of food. You still want to stick with your small bites and really chewing your food, which is something over time that I'm doing a little bit less, which I need to snap myself back into and make sure I take small bites and chew my food really well. But in the beginning, I would have a couple of bites, I would feel the tightness in my stomach, and then I would have to wait and it would go away. Right now I can say that I'm pretty good until about halfway through my meal, where I can start to feel like little tightness. And I just wait, I make sure my food is passed and it's gone. So really 6 months in, I'm a lot more advanced than I thought that I was going to be. When I was at the beginning of the operation, I was like, never again is my life ever going to be the same, because my stomach is the size of a pencil. But it really does get better. So if that's something that you can look forward to, really look forward to that, because it will get better. Besides that, I would say, I don't know, that's pretty much it. Something else I'm going to talk about in a video that's coming up, my next video, is going to be about lady situations, you know, the one that we all get monthly. I'm going to go a little bit into that, and I'm going to explain a little bit about PCOS, so if that interests you, stick around for the next video that's going to be coming up, I would say maybe next week. For girls who are going through that, it's something that can have that this operation can have a big impact on, so I'm going to talk about that, because it was something that I was never really diagnosed with, but they basically said, yes, you do have it, but we're not going to diagnose you like officially, just because it's obvious that you have it. So I'm going to get into that. If that interests you, look into that video. And that's pretty much where I'm at in my 6 months, down 97 pounds. I'm really looking forward to hitting those 3 extra pounds and being down 100 pounds and being like finally 100 pounds. I'm feeling great. I have a lot more energy. I'm still sleeping good. Hair loss is still really bad. It's still really there and really present. I would say since it was about month 2 when my hair started to fall out really bad, 2.5, 3. It hasn't stopped. It's still the same quantity of hair that I'm losing. However, I'm starting to get little tiny hairs on the top of my head, almost like as if it's baby hairs growing in, so I'm kind of hoping that the process is slowly stopping. I have since the beginning lost, I would say, about half the thickness of my hair. The front of my head, if you're looking at it in light, you can really see my scalp pretty far back, which is very depressing for someone who has had really, really thick, long hair their entire life. Now my hair is cut short and it's really, really thin, and I can feel that it's fragile. Every time I take a shower, I can feel that the hair just comes right out. And you're washing your hair, so there's not really much that you can do, because you need to touch your hair. If I could touch my hair less to wash it, that's what I would do. But the hair loss is really still there. It's really still significant. And my hair is all over my clothes, my floor. My cat, who's sleeping right beside me, is constantly rubbing her ass on the floor because she's got a hair stuck in there, or she's either like coughing up hairballs and it's my hair. I pass the room all the time and I can't, my hair is constantly shedding. So it's still a huge problem, and I'm really looking forward to that appointment so that I can ask them, is there something that I'm missing in my diet, and what can I do about my hair loss, because I'm really scared about losing a lot to the point of where it's significantly on the top of my head showing, and I would have to like really cut my hair really short or get a wig or something. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them, because the hair loss is really, really still present in my life. And that's pretty much everything I have to say for my 6-month update. Besides the hair loss and the random nausea, everything is going great. Do I regret the operation? No. And I tell myself, even if I kind of regretted it, which honestly, if I ask myself, I don't regret it, because of all of the good things that it's brought to me. The good outweighs the negative of everything that I'm going through, so I don't regret it. But even if I were to regret it, it's like, too bad, now deal with it. So no, I don't regret it. It is still an adjustment. It's only been 6 months. It is a big thing to deal with, but no, I don't regret it. I'm happy I did it. I'm happy I did it. I'm happy I'm down 100. Let's just round up and say 100. Why don't we? I'm down 100 pounds, and I'm looking forward to see what the next 6 months is going to bring me and where I'm going to be and how I'm going to be feeling and if my damn hair is going to grow back. So stick around if you're interested in seeing the rest of my journey, or at least the next 6 months if you feel like it. And if you like my video, please click on the like button just to let me know if I'm giving you the right kind of information. If there's things that you would like to know, then ask in the comments below and I will do my best to answer all of your questions. I would love to have comments. Makes me feel like I'm really interacting and having an impact with people. And if you enjoy my journey and you would like to see more, then please subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!